So right now we're in Hong Kong, Macau and Singapore. We're physically based there. We're doing a lot of work in mainland China and see that as the real next stepping stone to getting a real base there and people on the ground full time. Just the sheer volume of the facilities, the amount of energy and resources being consumed up there, something that cannot be ignored. That the market there is severely in its infancy, and we're wanting to tap into that and really help out as far as improving the efficiency of the sites up there. So why did we start it? I think we felt a responsibility to do something in the market here in the field of initially energy efficiency, and that's to develop more into resource and efficiency and sustainability. We're seeing in China particularly the cost of employment going up, essentially operational costs going up, the cost of material, and they really need to do something about it if they're going to stay competitive in the market and actually continue to exist. A lot of the apparel facilities are now moving overseas. They're going to Cambodia and Vietnam and these lower cost regions, and unless they do something to reduce their operational costs, they will no longer exist. So it's a serious item. Energy can be anywhere between 1 and 20% of a production facility's operational costs. We have a very large kit bag of quite sophisticated equipment that we take out on site. That's really our toolkit for our diagnosing a facility, anywhere from electrical meters to lux meters and combustion flue analyzers. We have quite an array of sophisticated equipment which gives us transparency to do essentially a health check on different end-use systems, where they're currently operating and what can be done to improve them, and identifying through those systems opportunities that would not have otherwise been seen without using those kind of technologies. You're essentially walking around with a blindfold on in these facilities. So that's the short-term piece of the puzzle as far as technology goes for us while we're on site. More long-term, we have a smart metering and monitoring solution for our clients, which is a key component of any energy management process. That initial assessment, that's really the first piece of the puzzle, and helps form part of a longer term strategy for the client. One very important component of a long-term strategy with the client is to implement a more robust and long-term metering and monitoring solution. So we help the client with that. We'll identify the metering points that they need to install hardware, help them find the most appropriate technology for them at the best rate and the most suitable. We'll try and utilise as much of the existing infrastructure as we can, which really differentiates us from some other companies that are really just pushing the product and trying to sell the hardware. We're about trying to get the data out and be able to analyse it and give feedback to the client when things are going wrong, and demonstrate the benefits from some of the projects that we've identified through that early stage of the program. Typically a facility in this part of the world, whether it be a commercial building or an industrial facility, has very little transparency on their energy usage or water usage. They probably get a monthly electricity or gas bill. They may get that towards the middle of the month, and by the time they've looked at it, it's probably towards the end of the month, and they're now 2 months too late to react to any issues that may have happened. Say someone's running the lighting 24/7, or the chillers controls have gone out of whack and out of calibration. These kind of issues with a real-time monitoring solution can be picked up immediately. So we can automate that, we can send alerts and alarms, and we do, and we've identified for a number of our clients issues very quickly. It supports their maintenance. We can find when meters go out of calibration or sensors, and react to that in a real-time manner, as opposed to months down the track. In this part of the world, in the tropics, air conditioning is obviously a huge user. On a site like that, it's over 50%, and so that's been a very large area of focus for us. When we first got to that site, they were having huge issues with their mechanical systems, so their chillers, their air handling units, the pumps, everything associated with that. Initially it was really to go through and get things working the way that they were actually designed to operate. Sensors were out of calibration, control systems were overridden, running in manual, so we just got back to basics and got the facility running the way it should, and then it was about fine-tuning and optimizing those existing controls. Their fire system developed a huge leak, and through our sort of regular monitoring, in that case it wasn't real-time monitoring, but we were regularly looking at their bills for them. We picked up that the water consumption, I think, went up by about 1,000%. So we obviously knew that there was an issue. With our ultrasonic flow meter that we have, we were able to go to the site, clamp it on, and really drill down, and we found the leak point, and they were able to fix it. It was underground, it was never going to be found without the use of a tool such as we had. So we were able to react to that. It could have gone on for years if we hadn't been assessing that. For MGM, we were able to prove a business case around removing their existing oversized steam boilers and replacing those with heat pumps. It was fantastic to see that actually come right through the finance department, be approved and implemented, and now we're currently just commissioning that, and we'll be doing a measurement and verification on the savings to confirm that it saved exactly what we said it would. With hotels, one of our sort of great successes has been the Intercontinental Hotel. So one of their flagship buildings is here in Hong Kong. It's only one of 4 that they actually own, which allows us to do some great things because they're really taking ownership of it, and that they're responsible for the implementation of projects there. So we were engaged to essentially fix their chiller plant. It wasn't operating correctly. We got in there and found some significant issues and worked with their chiller plant team to essentially do what they were currently doing in manual operation, just do it more efficiently. We helped create a staging manual for them, which they set up on their computer, and were able to gather some readouts in order to know when to stage things on and off, such as the chillers and the pumps. That's a short-term solution, and we're currently working with them to implement a more long-term solution, which is to automate the chiller plant, and we're really seeing that as a huge opportunity here in Hong Kong, is optimizing and automating chiller plant system. In that case, we actually knocked about 35% off the chiller plant at no cost, so it's a fantastic success. There are a lot of people in the market that say they do what we do. There's an energy audit and there's an energy audit. I think one of the key differentiators for us is our passion to see the opportunities we identify actually implemented. So when we do a energy assessment or audit and we identify a list of potential projects that can be implemented, we're straight away looking at ways that we can help our client implement those. There's a lot of companies in the market that are jumping on board the bandwagon of compliance audits just to really be ticking boxes, and that's not what we're really about. We're very passionate about seeing the realised savings implemented at the facilities and demonstrating those back to the client to get the credibility for what we're doing and get their buy-in for doing more.